You're listening to the smartest guys in marketing, the best show on the planet for client businesses to learn about traffic, funnels, sales, conversions, and marketing coolness. Chris and Taylor are the founders of Traffic and Funnels, a digital marketing consultancy helping you get paid clients from cold traffic daily. Now, here are your hosts, Chris and Taylor.
Guys, we're live with the master himself and the sexiest man in marketing, Mr. Jay Abraham. How you doing, sir?
I like being flattered. Keep flattering. Let's make the whole hour. Oh, he's tall. He's bright. He's well-dressed. Let's just
He's
do that.
courageous.
Oh, wow.
The most
Definitely
valiant,
the best hair. Definitely the best hair in
courageous.
marketing.
The best hair in marketing and the most receding too, but that's another story.
Guys, if you can see our faces and hear our voices, let us know in the chat window. Say good day. Say hello. Tell us where you're from. We're going to get wrapping in just a few minutes, but we got quite a few people who are going to be trying to hop on this at the same time. So we just want to make sure our tech is working and that you're not just staring at us the whole time. Here we go. People are piling on.
Are they confirming they can hear and see?
They're saying good day.
Okay, that's good. And apologies to everyone because it's a little darker on my side. My glasses were just shining like mad, and you wouldn't have seen my eyes, so we had to turn it down. Or I could have worn sunglasses and looked too cool for my own good. But apologies.
That's impossible.
Yeah, I'm going to take you with me everywhere. And when we're out trying to get a reservation, you'll say, "This guy is the best. He's the brightest. So you can't make any mistakes." When I go to bed at night and want to be frisky, I'll let you call in and tell my wife, "Hey, incredible!" And that'll be your business. You'll get out of all the traffic and all the conversion. You'll say, we just basically are ego acknowledgers.
Yeah, we stimulate your confidence. That's what we do.
We charge you a monthly fee, and we call every morning. And wherever you've got important meetings, we call ahead for them. We set the stage. We call in and say, is that famous, handsome, wealthy, world-renowned 400 IQ person happen to be there yet?
The man.
That's right.
All right. Well, I think we're good to start.
Yeah, people can hear us, and they're laughing. They're laughing at Jay.
I hope they're laughing with me.
Jay.
Yes.
The funniest guy in marketing.
The funniest guy in marketing.
Quite a few people are saying,
I'm going to save all these for the headstone when I die. The most handsome man in marketing, the brightest man in marketing, the funniest.
We'll send you this clip, Jay, so you can use it in your morning formula.
Good. That's good. I like it. Thank you.
Yeah. So we're obviously extremely excited to have the OG, Mr. Abraham, on the live stream today. Jay's agreed to come and invest and impart his many years of wisdom and knowledge into you guys, our people, our crew. And so, Jay, obviously, we really appreciate you for that. Your time is extremely valuable. So I want to acknowledge that. And here's the deal, guys. Jay is going to dispense a lot of value to you. So get out your pen, get out your paper. In between, we'll be asking questions. We'll do some giveaways. And at the end, we'll also give an opportunity for some of you guys to ask some questions. Jay doesn't really need an interview. Obviously, all of you guys know who Jay is. But we've had the privilege to have backdoor access to Jay. And he's tremendously impacted us, our personal lives, our business. He's the mentor to the mentors. And, one of the reasons why we connected with Jay is he has been around for a long time and he's been in the game, and he is known for his character and integrity. And we didn't really know the extent of that until we had those close connections and conversations with Jay at his office, on the phone. And we've really had the opportunity to see that be a real tangible thing. So he really cares for people. Is very highly motivated in seeing other people win. And he's become our friend and obviously a mentor. So Jay, we really appreciate, again, your time today, and we're just going to flow and let you do your thing, and
Well,
we're going to have a lot of fun today.
The acknowledgement is very gratefully appreciated, and it is my honor to have the privilege of helping people shorten the route and path, and elevate the outcome and learn how to add more value. So I'm here for the betterment of everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Cool. I'm going to take us away. I'm going to take us down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
All right. So, Jay, we started working with you about 6 months ago-ish.
Okay.
Right about that time. It's been amazing. Every time we talk to you, you change our thinking. You show us a new angle. You teach us how to probe. And in fact, I think the first time that we spent time with you, you spent about 3 hours scrutinizing every area of our business. Remember that?
I do indeed.
In fact, it was so long that we had to have pistachios to sustain us through that time.
My only pistachios would work. No other nut.
You dissected and dismantled and showed us new ways to position ourselves. And I just wanted to kind of hear from you before we dive into questions, before we start talking about preeminence and all the things that you're so known for. What did you find about our business?
I found
And us.
And us.
To be clinical, I found two very dedicated, impressive, talented experts who really didn't grasp the magnitude of what you could do for others and how you could reach others and how many ways you could articulate it so that others would trust and respond to you. And I found I gravitate towards businesses, people who really and truly make a bigger difference than they even know how to express. And I was impressed by both of you, and I was really impressed to be very truthful by, and I'm not going to be untruthful, that's a stupid statement, is by your humility and your genuine focus on growing and developing. There's a quote that I live by, and it's a modification, but Socrates said that a life unexamined is a life not worth living. And I believe that a business that is not constantly examined, re-examined from as many different focal points and impact levers as you can possibly understand and identify, is a business not worth owning. And that applies to everyone I counsel, you, and it should apply to everyone you counsel, because I've learned, because I've been in so many different industries. I'm not the most techno sophisticated person, but I've learned thousands of different, better, alternative ways to market, strategize, connect, impact, gain trust, convert, package. And most people don't have the access to the spectrum of possibilities, so they're limited. And when you introduce fresh new ways of thinking that are very logical because they're working wonders in other industries, and you teach them to somebody like yourselves in an industry where, very frankly, almost everybody markets, sells, promotes the same way, it gives you great advantage once you put the whole puzzle together. I don't know if that answer is good or bad or protracted or useful or useless, but that's what I found. How's that?
It's amazing. One of the first things I remember, I wrote this down, and our audience will recognize this because I've taken it and I've given you credit, Jay. So I've basically shared your teachings. But you told us that over your lifetime, you've had, we all have opportunities to do a deal or to make money that might not be ethical. In fact, the first meeting, I told you that we were opportunists, and you said, no, you want to say ethical opportunists, because you always want to protect your integrity, because you can get money back, you can get things back, but if you trade your integrity even one time, you'll never get your integrity back. And
That's true. And you're right. And I think that's a very overlooked element in a lot of young and a lot of smaller entrepreneurs thinking. They don't really realize how important that is over time, and also with regard to their dealings with the marketplace today.
love it. So let's dive into preeminence, especially in the client business today. Everyone tends to be fighting for the same client. There's not a lot of differentiation. And one of your biggest precepts is how to become that trusted advisor in any market,
Right.
whether you're obscure now or unknown now, or whether you're relatively well known. Talk to us. Just roll off some wisdom for us.
Okay, now, can I be embarrassingly rude?
Yeah.
I got to put my shoes on. They're halfway on and they're bothering me. So give me 1 second so that I can.
Hey, while Jay gets adjusted on the shoes,
I got to do that.
While Jay puts his clothes on.
Okay, now I'm ready.
So we have a bunch of Jay's books. Obviously, the Sticking Point Solution, CEO Who Sees Around Corners, the classic. So we're gonna be giving some of these away through the live stream. So make sure you guys are taking notes, your biggest takeaways. Make sure you're sharing this. Share this with your mom, your dad, your uncle, brother, your friends, your colleagues, because they need to hear this. All right.
Okay, I'll get into it. And you just said something which sounds a little bit hypey, but in truth, the strategy of preeminence, or the advanced strategy, there's an integration now, are probably the greatest philosophical strategy or strategic philosophy that an entrepreneur can live their business and their personal life by. It's very impassioning, it's liberating, it's more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Probably helps if I go through the origin, okay?
Okay, great.
So I've had all these clients, and one of my clients was the outrageously oversized big gorilla in the market. They were 2 or 3 times as big as their closest competitor. Their profit margins were double or triple. Their prices of products were premier. They were in publishing and advisory. Their renewals were much higher. Their upgrades were much higher, and their numbers were better. And they had incredible loyalty. And I didn't know what they were doing. They did not learn this from me. But when I started, I realized that making money from them was a waste, because they could teach me something that would transform my ability to transform an enormous a number of other people's business and life. So I exchanged $500,000 of my consulting time for the right and the privilege to spend a week with them, interviewing all their executives, the founder, the architect of their culture, their belief system, to try to figure out what was their secret sauce, what was driving all this extraordinary superior performance and achievement. And I had about 1,000 pages of really interesting notes that I distilled down to, I think, 20 or 30. Now, I haven't done this for a long time, and I don't have the notes with me, so you'll have to bear with me, and I'm going to try to give you as much as I can in the shortest period of time, pardon me, but it normally takes a couple of hours, and I do have various versions of it. I'll be happy to give you your choice of any one of them that can reside on your website if that helps you. But let me try to start from the beginning. Your goal and your purpose is to be seen by your target market as the most trusted advisor they can turn to for whatever the product, service, category, outcome, purpose is that they are seeking, number one. Number two, you want to not just be seen as the most trusted advisor, but the only viable source they can possibly consider, because you've established your distinction, your presence, your stature, so much more stratospherically distinctive above and beyond the maddening crowd. Now, that's the goal. How do you achieve the goal? You start by first and foremost understanding your market at a level no one else has done. That requires the following. Pardon me. You have to seriously talk to them. You have to examine and evaluate and explore their reality, which is not the same as yours, their definition of different concepts, which is not the definition that you would have. You got to understand and appreciate and respect and acknowledge their, the reality they are living. And you don't have to accept it, but you have to respect it. If you don't understand truly who and what and why they are, you can't really connect with them at the level of richness and bonding and trustworthiness that you need. Second, you really have to understand what trust really is made of. And there's about 13 behavioral traits and characteristics. And I did a really cool interview with the most knowledgeable source of trust building in the corporate and business arena a couple of years ago. And I have a document that you're also welcome to put on your website, because understanding that trust is a lot more dimensional than most people think. And lack of trust is one of the greatest, probably singular determinants of people saying yes, moving forward, opening their receptors. Did you want to ask me a question?
No, I'm just moving it out of the way.
Okay, good. So not good that you don't, good that I just acknowledge you. So in order to do this, you have to be willing to tell people the truth. Every human being has a sense that they are not getting the truth from almost anyone, and that there are better ways, and there's a deeper reality, and there's alternatives that people aren't telling them, and they crave knowing the real truth, and they want people, they want to basically, they are silently begging, excuse me, because I have to remember some of the elements, they're silently begging to be led to answers or questions they don't even know they're struggling with, or opportunities they don't really clearly know they want. But the caveat is they want to be led by somebody they absolutely feel has their best interest at heart, not that person's selfish interest. So be willing to present a different reality than everyone else, because if you don't, you're the same thing as everyone else. You're a commodity. You have to be willing to tell them the truth. And the truth isn't always going to make you money. And the truth isn't always going to resonate with everyone. But if you try to appeal to everyone, you have no belief system that is really authentic. So you got to decide what your belief system is, and not try to give them what they want without really integrating who you are. But you got to be true to thyself, as Shakespeare said. Then, as you're transacting business, you have to care enough about their well-being and respect enough the value, and this is going to sound weird, or lack of value your product, your service, your company provides, because you have a moral obligation, you have a responsibility, and you have the opportunity to transform their lives in some small or massive way through not just the product or service you sell, but the impact, the outcome, the long-term result it can make in that person's life. However, you have to be willing to never allow them to buy less than they need, in less quantity, quality, or combination than they need, or in less frequency than they need, conversely, you can't try to sell them more than they need. They have to really have, and you have to be authentic. Now, the way I try to explain it, this won't do it justice. This one will. Hold on. This is a half a bottle of water. This happens to be sparkling, but let's presume I own J. Abraham's bottled water shop and water bar. And you guys come in and you want to buy a half a glass of water or one glass. And I take your money without first making sure you are aware that you have a physical requirement and a necessity to consume. If you take a half a bottle or half a glass, 7.5 more of those every day minimum, for your body to function, for your brain to operate at peak, for your stress level to be its lowest, for your skin to be its best, for your organs to work. And that I have this obligation to, first of all, make sure you're aware. Second of all, do everything in my power to make sure you get it from me or from someone. But I can't be comfortable in my own moral, ethical conduct until I'm aware that I'm certain, that I have made you aware. If you don't opt to do it, as long as you're clearly aware, then I've done my job. Conversely, if you buy 8 glasses a day or the equivalent for me, but you only come every other day, I have the same moral obligation to advise you that you need to do it every day, not every other day or every 4th day. Now, if you can take that sort of simple metaphoric example to whatever you do, you have this moral obligation to not allow your perspective, if you know that what you do is superior and the outcome is better, and that your company supports, cares, really educates, instills, installs whatever it is you do more effectively, more successfully, more enduringly than anybody else. And I'm really using you guys as an example. You can't let them buy from somebody else, not because somebody else is a disgusting, wretched asshole, but rather because they're going to get
But they are
some standard outcome. It's your prerogative. And there's a way, by the way, to powerfully position against everyone else. And I'll try to explain that at the end of this if we have time. There's a lot more to this. Secondly, you have an opportunity that is unimaginable, and you have the responsibility, which people don't understand, to put into words what your market is feeling inside, because most people who are drawn to anything don't even know what they're searching to accomplish. They have macro, make $1 million, become independent, but that's far more nuclear or granular than that. And the more you can put into words the feelings, the fears, and the ability to emancipate or solve those fears, or the opportunities specifically they're trying to accomplish, and it resonates with their subconscious, and for the first time diminishes the stress and the strife and the frustrating drive towards whatever it is that they don't really understand, the more you own their mind share. And the way you do it best is a combination of the following. This is something I created, and it's enormously powerful. I call it the Amazon.com School of Marketing. And what it means is you can take whatever category of product, service, business, human condition that your company deals with. You can go to Amazon, and you can do it either way, I guess. You can do it by books. You can probably do it by products. And you can go to all the review. First of all, you go, if it's a book, to the titles. You go to the bestsellers, the last 25 bestsellers for the last year and a half. And you look at the titles, because titles normally convey a desired outcome or avoidance that people want. You look at the subtitles, you look at the chapter titles, because those are what people want. Most books sell more because of those factors. Titles and headlines are the equivalent than they do the content. Second, after you've done that, you go to the review section. You go to the 1s and the 5s, because they are either the most satisfied or the most dissatisfied, and people don't understand this. But when someone is passionate because they've been deliriously fulfilled or over fulfilled on an expectation, or passionately angry because they've been disappointed, their subconscious overrides and articulates in some of the most beautifully clear-cut language, emotionally and tangibly, what they wanted, what they didn't want, what they got, what they didn't get. And if you go through all the 1s and all the 5s for 2 or 3 different categories of books on your topic, and then you can go through actual product catalog categories on Amazon that are similar, and you can do this also on any review site you want, and you aggregate the good and the bad. It will give you language patterns that you can use that are going to be more powerful than the top copywriter, because you're going to be speaking directly to the subconscious of the mind of the target audience about either what they want and they've never expressed clearly, or what they absolutely don't want or have been frustrated by. You can write copy, you can create sales scripts, you can create emails, landing pages. The caveat is, if that isn't an authentic expression of what you either are or what you realize you must become, then it will be inauthentic. And when they do any transaction with you, it'll break down because it will be incongruent. There's a lot more. You want me to continue?
No, let's stop and do a giveaway. You have the fire hose on. People they're loving it. And so you guys, let's go ahead and throw in your biggest takeaway so far. We've got a few hundred people on. I want you to also tag someone in the comments, invite them here, because the knowledge and the wisdom that Jay is sharing, I have a full page of notes. And so go ahead, T.
Right here. Yeah, while you're doing that, so this is why we record our calls with Jay and listen to them over and over and over again all the time, because it's just like you can't even keep up. It's so good. But post your biggest takeaways, and we're going to – Jay, you mentioned earlier, I want to go through some of my takeaways from the last couple of minutes, and then we can move on. And I'm really interested in how to powerfully position yourself against any competitor. That's what I want to know.
Yes.
So we can go there in a second. But you mentioned that you had a document of 13 traits or 13 trust traits.
Right.
How many of you would like to get access to that document? Just throw a yes, raise your hand, do a little like. Would we be able to get that from you, Jay, and share that with people?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I'll get it to you, and you can put it on your website or give it to them, whatever you like. And it will help. But realize this, everything I stand for, everything I share, teach, expose, reveal is predicated on your willingness to operate at the highest pinnacle of ethical, high integrity conduct. And it's not meant to teach you how to manipulate somebody. Sure. It's intended to teach you how to connect in the richest, most authentic and sustainable way. But it pre-assumes you're going to live these ideals, and they're not just going to be a manipulative type of a concept to you.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, I know Chris. Let's give away one of his books to the best takeaway, and then let's give out for now. We're gonna grab the document from Jay on the 13 traits. I think we should pick 10 random people who are able to share this video and send that to them. What do you think about that?
Yeah, or we could give it to everybody who shares it,
or everyone. I'm down with that too.
Or you could pick every other one.
I'm in scarcity mode and you guys are in abundance mode. That's what's happening right now. Hey, here's my favorite takeaway. Peter Liu. Caitlin, well, let's send a copy of one of Jay's books to Peter Liu. The truth won't always make you money, but you have an ethical obligation to make sure that they are told the truth. This is what I wrote down. Be willing to tell the truth, even if it doesn't make you money. That's one of the reasons, Jay, to be honest and candid and vulnerable, one of the reasons we were like, we want to work with Jay is because anybody can be successful for a week or a month.
Yep.
But if you're successful for 20 years and 30 years, I don't know how old you are, but you've been in the game a long time.
You look like you're about 35, Jay.
You're like maybe 36, maybe 36. We were like, we want to start working with someone who's like, it's obvious that you are an authentic, you've got integrity. And Peter, that's been my best takeaway from the day as well. It's so crazy how many people are not willing to tell people the truth because they want the dollar more than they want their reputation intact. I think that's rampant in our industry right now.
Yep.
So let's get him a book.
And everybody who shares, our team is going to reach out and we're going to get you that 13 truths. We're going to get that document to you, but you have to share this live stream. My biggest takeaway real quick before we jump back in is you must be willing not to let them buy less than they need. And then obviously the inverse of that, that's an extremely powerful message.
That would be your biggest takeaway, bro.
I think though, here's the thing with many people that we deal with, they're afraid. They're afraid to put their offer to the market. But I think that sets people free. When you understand that what you have is so extremely valuable and can alter someone's life and their business, it's your obligation. It's tremendously powerful. What's up, everybody? Chris here, and just want to take a minute and say thank you so much for listening to the Smartest Guys in Marketing podcast. We really appreciate you hanging out with us. Please go leave a review on iTunes, whether it's positive or negative. We want to hear your feedback and know what you're thinking and how we can improve. And if you know anybody that needs to hear what we're saying, please share with them. And the last thing I have to tell you today is if you haven't gotten the monthly memos, jump over there and grab it at trafficandfunnels.com/memos. Here's the deal. The monthly memos is an opportunity for us to download what's happening in our business with our clients. And that's from mindset to marketing to strategy to tactics to traffic to funnels, business operations across the board. We are able to just break down and give to you what's happening. So our journey is to make a big impact. We want to make a massive impact on people's lives. And for us to do that, we're doing things like the monthly memos. We want you to get ahead faster and make a lot less mistakes than what we have made. And I think it's a great medium for you to do that. So jump over there, grab that. The price is ridiculously low, and we did that for a reason, just so there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to jump on there. trafficandfunnels.com/memos. And listen, again, really, really appreciate you guys.